Scorpio, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We are in Virgo season. We've kind of been through a lot astrologically. Well, 2 moon cycles, I should say. New moon and full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. We're coming up on another new moon solar eclipse in Virgo. So that's the second new moon in Virgo, which I really like because Virgo energy reminds us to find balance and stability. It is focusing on our health, our wellness. It is about, Virgo energy is earth energy. And so it really highlights stability and the way we kind of navigate that in our day-to-day living. It's such an important factor to our ability to kind of like make things happen, manifest our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. And, you know, it's really being challenged right now, that foundation. For the outer 4 planets are in retrograde. Like I mentioned, we had that full moon in Pisces. That was a lunar eclipse. And all of that really forces us to kind of do some internal work. Look at the harder things that we might be navigating or ways that we're participating in those difficult, challenging situations, relationships, dynamics, and how we can maybe make changes, right? It's not necessarily saying that those changes are going to be the magic answer key, unfortunately, because there's multiple people, you know, free will, all that fun stuff at play. But there is a lot of promise. There's a lot of promise if we do make that investment in self, if we do make that investment in what we want and what we desire, and kind of putting up or doing the hard work now in order to reap the rewards long-term, etc. So that's why I like to start off with these energy cleansings, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really great time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, Scorpio, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are interested in more of a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. It's just like how I was talking about with that Virgo energy. When we're feeling solid, stable, grounded in self, that's really where we can achieve our goals, manifest our desires, find fulfillment. And I would love to help support that for you in whatever way possible. We all deserve it. Definitely hit me up if you're interested. All the info to get into contact with me, Scorpio, is in the description box below. All right, with that, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Scorpio, you feel very focused this week. You feel very determined, maybe eye on the prize. I don't know. I don't know if it's about a certain goal that you want to achieve. I don't necessarily get that vibe. I feel like this is more about an opinion. It's an understanding. It's a reality check from someone, something around you that I feel like just doesn't vibe with you. It's like, I feel like you have been, you've been seeing this dynamic, the disconnects between you and someone else or a situation for a minute now, it feels like, because again, your energy is just like, okay, this is what it is, and so this is what I gotta do. Like, you are in like no bullshit mode, 100%. You know, you're not really putting up with any BS. You don't really want to hear it, is what I'm hearing. And honestly, you're very convinced that this is going to take you somewhere, right? Like, soon is in your overarching energy. So you know change is upon you. You're welcoming it. You're ready for it. I feel like you've been through a period of time where like maybe you weren't so certain about what you needed to do, but whether this is a loss that just happened or it's a loss that continues to happen, it's the same pattern, it's the same dynamic with someone over and over and over again, right? Like, they can't really, whether they can't get their shit together or this is about like, this just was a foundation on a messy dynamic, you know? I don't know that that matters per se. I think there is some difficulty around this because there is love here, you know? It looks like a dynamic that you built with someone that was precious to you, right? Like, whether this is like long term or this is just something that like you invested a lot of your time, energy into. I think there are some things from the past that are kind of coloring your decisions right now. I will say that. Because you are showing up as love. You are showing up as either loving this person. It doesn't have to be love relationship, but like, again, there is this level of investment. And with loss in the past, it feels like there might be some boundaries that you've set in order to protect yourself. And that's where some of this discoloration, so to speak, is coming into play. Where, yeah, maybe there are elements of something happening, but maybe it's not as extreme as what you're thinking. So if you are feeling very decided about someone, something, maybe give it a second look. Right now, Mars is tensely aspected to Jupiter. So Mars is how we make things happen, how we push things forward. Jupiter is our abundance. And Jupiter is also in Cancer, which is all about really like kind of connecting with our instincts, our intuition, choosing things that are supportive of us, even if it's not the most obvious thing. And if we get caught into that Mars energy of trying to push our agenda forward, it can get way messier, right? Like, it can just fall flat, give out, you know, we end up winding up in something that we really didn't want to be a part of in the first place type vibe. So that's where slowing down is really beneficial for you right now. You have the Four of Swords though. I think you're doing that. I think here's the thing. What I'm seeing is regardless of what happens in this specific situation, you know that it's changing. You know that it's changing, and I almost feel like it has to change on some level, right? But I also think that as that dynamic changes, so are you changing with it. There's something about you're feeling resistance because whatever you're dealing with, it's like a lot of messy energy. We have Eight of Swords, we have Two of Wands, and the Temperance. So someone's not thinking clearly about whatever this is, right? And instead of thinking clearly, they're actually really limiting themselves and they're making the situation more difficult. We have King of Wands. You could be dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You also have the Knight of Wands showing up in your energy. I feel like someone's having a hard time with how you're representing yourself. Like, I'm hearing like they need to be the one on top, right? As if they're the King of Wands and you're the Knight of Wands and you need to listen to what they say. And that's where this disconnect is coming into play. Because whatever this person is thinking or feeling is not correct. The Eight of Swords is about our own mental limitations. It's like legit, like you could get over this, but you're choosing not to because you're staying stuck in whatever this messiness in their mind is, right? Temperance is like this inability to emotionally regulate if you're not getting what you want. And so they're kind of, I don't know if they're like specifically picking at you, but it feels like they're dishing some things out to see how you react, to see how you respond. And like I said, it's a little bit difficult for you because there is this element of like a lot of disappointment around like what you thought it was. You might be a little bit immature. I'm sorry, I'm not like trying to harp on you around this. Like you might respond differently than how this person would want you to, or perhaps you need to work on the way you're communicating your thoughts and your ideas, because whatever this is, they feel like you're not being honest or something. Let me yeah, it's like okay. Sorry. Okay, so we have Seven of Wands clarified, or I'm sorry, Seven of Swords clarified by Six of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Tower. So it's almost like if you say what you need to say, you're afraid of how they're going to react, how they're going to respond. I feel like rightfully so, because whatever they're showing you feels out of place or not how it should be in this dynamic. Let's see a little bit more about them. Okay, let's see. Okay, Seven of Cups. I do see them wanting to find options, like wanting to find solutions. Let's think about this. Okay, we have Page of Pentacles, Five of Wands. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so I don't know. It almost, like, to me, it looks like you're coming into, sorry, I just gotta click on this thing. To me, it looks like you're coming into or infiltrating someone's like safe space is what I'm hearing, right? Like someone's just feeling uncomfortable, and instead of maybe like vocalizing what they're saying, they're just not saying it, and it's leaving all this like awkwardness up in the air. And either you're dealing with a couple different people, or there are some people who are like on the same page about this, but then they're not communicating it to you. And like I said, it feels like you're afraid of like what would happen even if you did communicate this. All right, let me close this out for you. Whatever this is coming to head soon, and it looks like you have Eight of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess, Six of Swords. It looks like you get an opportunity to move on, to move forward. Yeah, because like whatever this dynamic is, it's not currently stable. And you feel that, you know that. I think it's hard because it is something, again, that you are invested in, that you love, that you care about. Maybe it is really hard to walk away, and that's where this pain and regret come from. But also sometimes like pain and regret keep us in a dynamic for too long. And whatever this is, it looks like either one person or multiple people aren't really vibing like with you, And not that that's bad, like I don't know, but it feels like you might be penalized for that in the future. So there is this value of like spirit is kind of leading you in a certain direction. I am not stressing. I know that worrying only blinds me from the beauty that is all around me. We can't really control these types of situations, right? Because it looks like whatever's happening, they're not communicating. It's leaving a lot of things up in the air. And so you're left with, right? But at the same time, where I feel like this Knight of Wands energy is really supporting you this week is getting out there, figuring out what your other options are, maybe investing in something else. We've been getting this card a lot. I am going on an adventure. I know that passion is ignited when I create experiences that excite me. And I feel like this is definitely that call, like shaking up the energy a little bit, not being so invested in the monotony, in the mundane, having some fun, joining a class, a hobby, searching for that new job, going to a networking thing, just kind of putting yourself out there in a way that you normally wouldn't. I am letting go. I know that focusing my attention on things I cannot control distracts me from my journey. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening in this dynamic, right? Like whatever they're not telling you, whatever vibe signals you're picking up, but you can't quite pinpoint, is distracting you, is keeping you off track essentially, right? And I don't know that you're going to get a clear-cut answer until it almost like screws you over is what I'm hearing, right? Because like this energy is like you wouldn't know until it's happening, right? Like they wouldn't tell you until it's actually like done and over and final type vibe. Like you don't get a heads up, you don't get an opportunity to work on it, that type of thing. And I feel like that's where Spirit's like, stop focusing on what you cannot control and start focusing on what you can control, right? It really actually does help eliminate stress in the process too. So Scorpio, Godspeed. I hope it goes well. Thank you so much for your time, energy always. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Know it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.